From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
The name's Nukem, Duke Nukem, and you're watching the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. I don't know why, but you are.
What's going on, anime nerds? Welcome to this bi-weekly show that we've started probably about like a month or so ago. We're talking about season 3 of My Hero Academia. That's all I'm doing. Will, take it away.
Okie dokie, friends. Season 3. Huzzah! This arc covers three arcs. Three major arcs. Two which are very serious, and one that's not as serious. So it starts with the summer training camp. Oh god, my nose. The summer training camp and the into the All for One big battle. And then the provisional exams. Provisional license, your permit. It's like your permit before your driver's license.
That since we're going straight from the beginning here, I liked how they were basically going to this mountain retreat to test their quirks in fields upon fields of open space and trees to really start honing in their stuff till bad guys start showing up.
Well, I mean, like, let's freaking just start with like the whole arc with the whole just them going to a training camp and them actually doing the training where like it looks like borderline torture. Yeah.
It very much does, but you could see everybody putting their all literally into it because it's class 1A, and we know how they do shit. They don't do it half-ass.
No, but it's
the
not.
remedial guys are funny though.
Yeah, but they show how not easy it is. To like level up their quirks and stuff, and it is I'll be honest, it's brutal.
It looks like it.
But we meet Koda, and he's a dick. He kicks Deku in the nuts.
I would say, speaking of dick,
because we meet like there's a group of heroes.
That is so wrong.
There's the group of heroes that are the wild pussycats that are helping with the training camp, and one of them has a nephew that they take care of named Koda, and his parents were killed by a villain while they were doing hero work, and he's like, yeah, fuck heroes, they'll just die, and I'm a little baby, and I'm gonna kick people in the nuts because I don't like them.
And then you know why. Then we find out why he's like that.
So they're training everything, and Deku's out in the woods still practice, or like Koda goes missing, and Deku's out looking for him just to make sure. And all of a sudden, all of hell's breaking loose.
And not just with Deku, they're all getting fucked up down there, and you're gonna have to help me with all their names, because all I know is Musclehead, and I don't think that's his name.
Muscular.
I wasn't too far off.
Close.
Holy shit! You know,
Muscular is his villain name, and that fight was brutal. Like that's the first time we really see Deku himself bring down a villain by himself.
That was a phenomenal fight, don't get me wrong, but there were times where I'm rewatching this series for the third time. As Will knows, every time they put out a season, I start from the beginning and rewatch. Don't know why, it's just something I've done with My Hero. Every time we get to that fight, this is, I think, the only fight I do this with. There's stuff like very gruesome throughout that fight. I'm just like, oh god, oh Jesus.
Well, this is where like Deku sustains the real damage to his body.
Mm-hmm.
You can only do this a couple more times before you can't do it any longer.
Mm-hmm. So that fight with Muscular where he does like the 1,000,000% smash to actually beat Muscular, because like really for the most part, like Full Cali wasn't doing it. Like, none of them really was doing it. Muscular was just way too strong. Which makes season 6 a lot funnier.
Yeah, fucking one shots the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, like spoiler alert for season 6. He comes back and Deku just one shots him. It's just like
Oh, because
It's like Batman and
Deku learned the quick time event. That
electrocutioner.
because he do the quick time event, so he just ended it quickly.
mhm.
XYXXXA. Boom.
While this is happening, there's like a Nomu let loose on the thing. There's this dude with gas powers. Toga and Dabi are like
It's not me. It's not me.
are going nuts.
Not me with the gas powers. I didn't eat
Oh,
cheese.
shit, we're talking about the dude with the gas, but who had the gun, right?
Yes.
Twice with his couple of clones.
Fuck the
That's what-
magician. Fuck the magician.
Compress.
Like that's a hell of a cool power.
Magna with her magnet powers.
Do we have Toga there too?
Toga's there.
Toga is there. Oh, that's right. She pins down Uraraka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Toga fights Uraraka and
suck,
Tsuyu though,
suck.
like the whole time.
Like I don't
And
know
then
why.
a little bit with Deku when he shows up.
We're gonna have a lot.
The
more
main
with,
fight is between Tsuyu and Uraraka. Ooh. I mean, like the major things that happen in that is Deku beating Muscular and Bakugo getting kidnapped. Which is Nutty Coco.
Will become a villain. The fuck I will.
Yeah, and Compress's like fake out thing where they thought they got him, back, and like Compress like
confirm, release them. And it's
Totally
really
got-
Tokoyami.
no, it was like an item. It wasn't even Tokoyami. It was like a freaking scarf or something.
Oh, I thought it was Tokoyami.
No, Tokoyami was a different one that they got back. It was like an item.
Oh,
Or the one that they thought was Bakugo was like a scarf or something, while they also got like Tokoyami in them back. So Bakugo is the only one who actually gets kidnapped. But a lot of other people got really freaking hurt. A lot of 2B got really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I did find it hilarious after the fact when they're going through the press conference with the two teachers and the principal. They took Bakugo. They're fucked. Like they
Yeah,
have
so-
him so restrained. Out of everybody they could have taken, they took the one that will legit kill them.
Well, do you remember the reason why they did?
Because of his.
They wanted him to join them.
Well, yeah.
They thought his rage and stuff would get him to join them. Like that was the whole point. They were after Bakugo and Deku like the whole time. Deku because he was all for one for all. Well, they don't know he is one for all at that point. Like the League of Villains don't even know what the hell that is. But they were after Deku because of his power, and they wanted Bakugo because they wanted Bakugo to join him. But I think they were after Deku specifically to kill him.
Get him off the board. And Muscular did not succeed when there was a couple times, and I'm going back to the first time I watched it. Thought they were taking Deku off the board there. Because I didn't read the manga. But the way that fight was going for the majority of it, I thought he's going to be in the hospital for a while and be out of the game. Until they obviously need him.
Hmm.
That not being the case, they have Bakugo, and now the way they stage the rescue
Hmm.
and the games that now the heroes are playing
Yeah.
with the press conference. Woo!
So now what's happening? So like pretty much this is where the arc ends with them like waking up in the hospital, kind of giving the aftermath of what happened basically the next morning with everyone in the hospital. One of the main things we learn is that Deku's arm is really fucked up.
That's where the doctor
Because
says you
he's
can only do that a couple
breaking
more
it
times.
so bad that they're like, if he sustains that injury like 2 or 3 more times, he won't be able to use that arm anymore.
That's where he gets the idea to start going shoot style. Well, actually, that's not where he gets it. He has it in the training center.
And we'll go into that in a second. But
Sorry, just said that you might be something else happened during the season that.
So then we kind of get the Bakugo rescue arc kind of going underway, which is more of like it kind of counts as its own arc, but it also is more of a continuation of this arc too.
I would put it into the All Might and All for One arc. Like the
Well, no,
beginning
that's what I'm calling. That's what this is.
Okay,
That's
okay.
what we're getting into now. Is
Right,
like
right.
this is it. It's like its own arc, but it is more still part of what's going on with the summer camp. But it's like the circumstances have changed, so now we're at like a whole new part here. So Kirishima's like, we gotta go save him. We gotta go save him. We gotta go save him. Ida's like, we gotta go save him. We gotta go save him. We gotta go save him. And like a bunch of the group is like, no, we need to stay out of this. Like,
Ida
this isn't our
didn't wanna
responsibility, huh?
He didn't want to go. The only reason why he was going is
No, Ida was like, no, I will fucking stop you. No, it was Kirishima. Who else was with Kirishima where went like right away when they were like,
Todoroki.
no, we gotta go get him? I think Todoroki. I'm pretty sure Todoroki was like, yeah, we gotta go get him. And then a bunch of the class. It was pretty much kind of like split.
Yayamozo.
Well, Yaoyorozu was against it in this conversation. And then she gets convinced during the conversation to actually do a go-ahead on it. So what ended up convincing a lot of people too was that Deku was originally like, kind of like, like, we should, but like, we really not supposed to, so we should let the heroes deal with it and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, Deku's like, yeah, let's do it. And then him, Yaoyorozu, Kirishima, and Todoroki are all heading out, and Ida tries to stop him, and Ida's like, well, all right, if I can't stop you from going, then I'll at least go with you, but as soon as it gets too serious, we're gone. I'm pulling all of you out. Like, this is no.
And the minute shit hits the fan, they all freeze. They did not freeze.
So they go, but while they're in the town following the tracker, there's also that's when the press conference is going on, and where it's like Aizawa and all of them are there, and being like, well, we already have a plan to go and get him. A plan is already in action to go and save him. Sorry, I'm hungry.
And
this is where I die.
and they ended up not at where Bakugo is. They find all the fucking Nomu.
Yeah, well, they were tracking they were going after the tracker on the Nomu, so it makes sense that they found the Nomu lab. But while they find the Nomu lab being pizza delivery, I am here.
I am here.
Can you bring my drink upstairs?
Did someone want a slice of justice with their pizza? One giant order of justice.
And they like take down the league like almost instantly. Like Kamui Woods goes in and binds them all and everything. Like pretty much like they just win in this one like quick swoop. Like I was like, oh no. When I first watched this, I was like, oh no, this is going too well, which means it's about to go drastically wrong.
And then it did.
And that's when the whole warp thing happens and the Nomus come in and it distracts the heroes and they start fighting there. And then they get warped away to the Nomu lab. And then Deku, they're there, they see Bakugo and stuff like that. And then they see All For One and that's
a hell of a fight.
There's also at the same time, I forgot there's one thing. Best Jeanist and some of the other heroes are going after the Nomu lab. Because that's where they see All For One and like they get like so scared like they're about to throw up.
Pretty sure Best Jeanist might be dead.
At least he's wearing his best.
So it was like, oh god.
You proud of that,
no.
James?
Who is that?
Yeah,
we were like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And then All Might gets there, and they start fighting, but they're also using Bakugo as like a hostage. So Deku and them get this freaking maniacal plan, and they save Bakugo with Mount Lady's help.
Yeah, she just stands in front of them,
and saves them. This is like one of those things where it's like, okay, they turn the tide in like the hero's favor because a lot of their non-reactiveness was because Bakugo was a hostage there, and with him there not being a hostage anymore,
All Might can go full out.
And all the other heroes too. It wasn't because All Might wasn't there. All Might was not there yet when they did the rescue. I believe.
Yes, he
was on his way there because he had to run there.
He was there. When they grabbed Bakugo, he was there because then he turns around and he goes, now I don't have to hold back anymore.
Oh, it must have been right when he got there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm doing this off of pure memory, so.
Yeah, I just finished watching like 20 episodes today, so.
And then, oh boy, the all for one versus one for all fight.
This was fucked.
Which basically, like, after they rescue Bakugo, they don't even like try to stick around. They just fucking book. They're like, nope, we did what we were here to do. We weren't trying to get involved in this except for saving Bakugo. Bye.
Freaking Ida and Yamamoto are just like, yep, we're gone.
No one argued. Like, even like Deku didn't try to stay there and fight and help. They were like, no, we did what we came to do. We need to leave.
Leave this fight for the grown people.
This fight was intense. The balls on All For One is ginormous because he's taking shots. He's giving a hell of a lot more than what he was taking at the beginning. And he's just egging on All Might.
Mm-hmm. We can do his whole thing is he loves breaking people's spirits down. Like he loves breaking them. He loves making them hopeless and stuff. This is where we get to really see because we've only heard about him one time when he tells Deku about All For One. We only hear about him. We don't see how he acts. We know that he steals quirks. We know that he's like this big villain. He's the one that inflicted the wound on All Might. Like that's all we know at this point. Now we're actually hearing him. He's
there's a lot of exposition.
This man is just
fight.
a pure fucking menace.
There's a lot of exposition in this fight. This is where we find out that Shigaraki is the granddaughter of All Might's teacher?
Yeah.
Trainer?
No. Nana Shimura was the holder of One for All before him.
Yeah. And didn't she train
So
him
so
too?
yeah, but Gran Torino did more of the training part, really.
Okay.
Nana gave him the quirk and was starting it, but then
She kind of died.
All for One and her fought and she lost. That was
She
the
got-
whole reason why
She got
like
her
Gran
vibe
Torino
checked and
trained
didn't
him?
pass.
Finished training him and then shipped him to America. That's why he was in America. Was so that All for One, because All for One's influence didn't really stretch past Japan. So All Might being outside of Japan really was beneficial for his training.
And I don't think All Might was able to put everything into it like he did to end that fight until all the other heroes got there and were legit. You can do it.
Well, no, it was that one girl. It was that one woman that was trapped under all that rubble who was like, please, All Might, please. Like, you have, because, like, All for One was very successful in breaking All Might during that fight until
Absolutely.
he got cheered for by that woman after he got revealed his weakened form. That's what sparked him back into action, and then the greatest move in all of My Hero Academia, the United States of Smash.
Nope, that's a joke I'm not gonna make on air.
United States of Smash.
Where's my wife?
I think I still remember when we watched it here because like I remember it being kind of slightly dark in the room, and I was like, dude, this hurts my eyes, but this is so beautiful.
And then basically ends the fight there.
That is the end of the fight. Like it knocks him out with that hit. And then All Might takes his last stand as a hero, but everyone knows what this means is that he is done.
It's your turn now.
And he points to the screen and says, "It's your turn."
As
And
Deku is
everyone
bawling his
thinks-
eyes out.
Everyone around thinks that he's talking about like the League of Villains is the next thing is like he's gonna go and take them down next, which is not the case. He's pointing at the screen, knowing that Deku is watching, and going, "It is his turn now."
So after this fight, the next episode, the placement of this episode, it bothers me. It probably doesn't bother you guys because you guys are used to it, is the lead up to Two Heroes.
So,
The placement of
There
this
was a
episode bothers me.
but there's a reason. There's a reason for it though.
Oh no, I understand that there probably is. It's just I'm like watching everything in order. If I knew that episode was there, I would have watched this right before Two Heroes. Like, you know how Clone Wars is all out of order?
Well, because this
Yeah.
was around when Two Heroes was actually releasing. Because, like, timeline wise, yeah, it happened before this, but like right around this time was when Two Heroes was actually coming out in theaters
Mhm.
in Japan. I think in America we didn't get it until about the end of season 3, I think.
America.
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah,
We got it faster than we thought was really the
Mhm.
thing. Was we got it in theaters way faster than we thought we were going to get it. But when they do episodes like this, it's actually because it's basically they either do this or they don't do an episode. Because like sometimes during like depending on the season,
Mhm.
there'll be like a holiday when an episode's supposed to air. And so because they know a lot of people won't actually watch the episode on that day over there because of the holiday. And to give like the people a break, they take it off of main story stuff and they do a promotional thing or like a little filler thing to see like what else happened. Like I know they do it at one point. I think they did in season 2. They did an episode of like Suyu during her internship with that
With
Seal Hero
Siren, and I
Yeah,
enjoyed that episode.
that was
I really
actually
did.
a filler episode.
Oh, absolutely. Even the filler episode that right there was a good episode.
Yeah, they do it to kind of like give us like a little break between the thing. Like, okay, here's a one episode so little break because it was either this or we don't do an episode.
Uh-huh.
So let's just do this little cute quick thing, and there you go. You have it already.
Oh no,
There you go. You have at least something.
I agree with it. I was just more of speaking to the fact of it. I would have watched it differently in a different spot if I remembered where it was.
True.
Because for me, in continuity aspects, it messed me up.
That's right. I get that.
Gotcha. So then
it's like reading chapter 5 and then having to go back to chapter 2 to read something.
So
back to chapter 6.
aftermath of this, Bakugo gets home and all this, and then the next day we kind of start seeing a bit of the aftermath. People are kind of like they're unsure what's going to happen now that All Might is retired, and all of this, and
He's not here.
they start doing the dorm system, where now they'll stay on UA property so that they can be safer because they'll be on UA property. UA is significantly fortified, and they go.
That's a funny.
And then and All Might and Aizawa do the parent-teacher conferences, and they're like, "Well, this is cool because then we can we'll propose the dorms while we're doing the parent-teacher conferences, which we were going to be doing anyway."
I was just saying because isn't this around the time where All Might had the like pressure Deku's mom for him to stay in the school because
it wasn't pressuring. Yeah. I don't think it was pressuring.
Well, not pressuring, but you know what I mean.
Begged her.
Yeah.
Basically, this is where All Might tells. This is where the first person besides All Might and Deku are told and notified the plan for Deku is to become the next Pillar of Peace. Because that Deku is to succeed him. Because so all the other parents pretty much agree instantly. Even like Bakugo's parents are like, yeah, go for it. Like,
yeah, but I think that has a lot to do with please take my son. I don't want him here.
But yeah, but also it's like a lot of these parents already have faith. Some of them like bit back in the beginning just to make sure, like Jiro's parents. Like you see them doing Jiro's parents, but they were already okay with it. They just wanted to like fight back a little bit just to make sure like. One, they wanted to show like they were protective of their daughter, which I mean they were and stuff like that. But they also wanted to make sure UA was fully prepared for what they're doing. Doing and acknowledge like, hey, this is where we went wrong. Here's what we want to do to fix it. Plan to fix it. But really, even at the end of the day, it's not really UA's fault.
But I'm trying to phrase this. It might not be UA's fault, but they're always going to look at UA.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like they were the ones responsible and they let someone get kidnapped, even with all those pro heroes there. But it's like one of those things where it's like it sucks that UA was getting all this shit when it wasn't really their fault. But then it also does this thing while they're doing this big meeting with the staff, they go, oh, there's a traitor among us. That's the only way they would have known where this camp was. Someone who was at that camp or knew where that camp was going to be told them where the camp is.
I can't remember. Do we find out who? In this season? Okay, good. Means I didn't miss something.
Manga readers already know. If you are current in the manga, you already know who the UA traitor is.
Oh, so this doesn't happen till
if you only watch the series, season 7 will reveal the traitor. And it is, and we'll talk about this when we actually get to season 7. We cover season 7 after season 7 comes out. It'll blow you out of left field who it is.
I agree with the statement. Yes.
Because that's when it was revealed to me, I was like, no fucking way. Like they started doing like the lead up to it and like showing the person. I was like, no fucking way. No. Oh shit. But then we get to, for student teacher conferences, we get to Deku's, and his mom's like, no. He can go to a different school. No. He doesn't have to go to UA.
I can't wait for season 7 now.
Can't go to,
I need to
he
know.
doesn't have to go to UA. He can become a hero somewhere else. Like, no. And that's when All Might goes into full muscly man bod mode, gets on his hands and knees and his head to the ground, and tells her, I believe he will become the next Pillar of Peace. He is my successor. Please let me train him.
At least he doesn't put his head through the ground and start bleeding.
He does not tell her about One for All. But he does. He basically kind of indicates that he has been like personally training him to be this. Where she's like, oh shit.
My son is
like,
important.
Inko is flabbergasted when he says that. She's like you see her eyes when he says that, and she's like, what do you mean your successor?
Yeah. And you could really see, if you can promise me he's going to be okay and that you're going to train him and look after him, he can go back. And I think it took All Might to what he just said to her to be like, oh, my son is that important. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I still find
And I mean, season 6 will cover more, because that's a lot of things happen. Like a lot of this stuff kind of rears its head in season 6. But then we get to the trading for the provisional licenses. And so everyone's training. It's basically the training camp. It's basically what it is. What they were doing at the training camp, now they're doing here. Here again. Like, it was like the last thing they wanted to do at the training camp was to help them make signature moves, like special moves. And everyone's like doing really good and stuff like that. And Deku's still like, I don't really know, like I can punch and stuff. And All Might says the like most important thing here. How long are you gonna keep copying me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that was what was holding Deku back, is that, and I mean, and this is a thing that they keep covering in this show of Deku's weakness. Like, Deku is strong as shit and everything, but he has a crucial weakness. He worships the quirk too much.
Yeah, I think Gran Torino mentions that in season 2.
They constantly address this issue about how Deku like worships quirks, and it's really not just one for all. It's all quirks. He like worships quirks because he wanted to be a hero. He loves quirks and stuff like that. So he doesn't think of the quirk as part of himself. He thinks of it as this special thing he has. So it hinders his usage.
And which I think he starts to come around to that towards the end of this season. Especially the battle with fucking Bakugo. Motherfucker.
Oh, the fucking animation for that. Oh.
Clean fucking.
So,
how did fucking mint?
So then Deku develops shoot style, gets a whole new costume, some costume upgrades and stuff like that. It's really the same costume, just you see a little more armor around the body, some bracers on the arm, like the white little the white padding on his arms, which are like to help support his arms.
Steel shoes.
The steel shoes.
I was like, yeah, a lot more
beautiful shoot style.
I think that's one thing I like about the suit the most. Like the very detail on the legs, so it lets you know, hey, he's gonna be definitely equipping these more into his skills. So,
well, he's like, if I have to be careful about my arms, I need to I then should just use my legs. I should just use my whole body. I don't have to just punch like All Might. Like, why am I like Deku was always, and this is where Deku actually becomes really strong because Deku's not a strength fighter. You'll see when Deku goes the strength route in his fights, he doesn't do as well as when he's going the agile, quick route.
This is season 3 Deku, right?
No,
No,
that's
he's kicking here.
no, he's actually doing a jumping punch.
Oh, I saw the foot and I was like, oh, it's coming around to.
No, because the main thing you see there is he doesn't have the metal on his shoes.
Oh, he doesn't have the kick pads either. You're right.
Yeah, so yeah, he doesn't have like that. Yeah, so that's season 1 and 2.
These are some of my favorite. Him, All Might, and Endeavor are some of my favorite things I have over my TV.
So that's
So happy I
like
got guilted into buying these.
that's like the biggest like improvement thing we see with everybody. Like you see some others get like new hero outfits. You see Denki gets the thing where he can actually like use his quirk at like pinpoint range. Like he can actually like shoot his lightning out at specific things. And they show it a lot during the provisional matches, like with the balls and getting like hitting everyone with the balls. Which is then where we get to like we actually see Toga's quirk, which is she can take the form of other people. We don't at this point we don't know how she does it. We just know that she can clone, like she can take the place of other people, which is why some people thought that it was Toga who is the UA trader. She was disguised as someone else the whole time. Not the case, but it was good theory. I quite enjoyed the theory. I had to blow my nose.
You're fine.
Really fine.
So then a lot of this test is we get to see a lot of like the other members of 1A like showing off. We get to see Yaoyorozu beat the really smart girl from that one school, and we see
where
like
she
Bakugo
gets
fight
more,
the people from
IQ
Shingetsu High. Yeah, the girl who's her quirk is basically she's really fucking smart.
Yep. The first year from Shugetsu High. What's his actual name? I can't remember it. The one with Gale Force, his wind.
The Yao.
Oh,
I can't think of his name. The one that hates Todoroki. And then also fails the test because of Todoroki and himself. I stumped the anime nerd.
Inasa Yaorashi, and
Sure.
his quirk Whirlwind.
Whatever you say, boss.
Yeah, he basically hates we meet him he's a really cool guy, I like him. But he like hates freaking Todoroki because of Endeavor, and Endeavor basically was like he looked up to Endeavor and Endeavor was like, fuck off.
Fuck you.
And then when he was doing the UA, because Yaoyoroshi Inasa was actually he took the UA exam.
Mm-hmm.
And chose to not go to UA because of Todoroki. Like Todoroki won it by a landslide, and then was like, "Oh man, he was trying to dude, that was so cool. You did such a good job." And he had like the same like angry look that like, no face, and he was like, "Oh no, they're gonna let someone like this in? No." Todoroki still tried to like apologize for him. He was like, "I was a different person back then."
Which, to his credit, he was.
Yeah. But the first test was really cool. I kind of liked that, the whole ball hitting the targets. The second test I actually liked more, where they were doing the rescuing and each like rescuee would give them like super critical things about like.
Oh yeah, freaking! Oh, this isn't good. this isn't good. I'm bleeding from my head, and the first thing you say is this isn't good. Given very,
Yeah.
very to the point criticism and a great learning experience to not just Deku, the rest of the class that were right there. Granted, Deku's the one that lost all the points, but
Well, he only like really Deku only lost points because he would like stop like his brain kind of would because he would hesitate to make a decision. So
yeah,
there
'cause
was
he
always
has
like
to
this
plan it out in his head.
because that was the when they were doing at the end and like looking at their notes, that was the thing where he lost points was his decisiveness.
But
And then how he jumped in to like to get Todoroki, and he had to save the guy who the earthquake guy because of Todoroki and
Oh.
Yagarashi.
Tremors, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to go. Deku had to save him because they were gonna hurt him real bad because of the fire and the wind, like trying to fight Gang Orca. And here's Deku being like, "What the fuck are you guys doing, you idiots?"
Fucking Gang Orca. Jesus Christ. If he wanted to be a villain, he could.
The big thing here being, so then we get to the end and three specific people failed.
Todoroki, Bakugo, and the
And
dude
Inasa.
from yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Tammy technically auto failed, but she didn't at the same time because she wasn't really there. But yeah, you know. But this brutal blue, this put Bakugo over the edge. And this is where we get to the last little thing that happens in this season.
So
The
hold
Bakugo
on.
versus Deku fight.
Hold on. I know we talked about it in the end of season 1. We really didn't touch upon it in our season 2 episode. Is this really the humble pie that you were mentioning about Bakugo?
This was the creme de la creme. Because now Deku is ahead of him. So really, up until now, Deku and Bakugo really weren't ahead of each other, per se. Because they were both still students, they both were still thinking, yeah, Bakugo was getting humbled here and there and stuff like that, but Bakugo was still like the strongest in the class and stuff. It's just no one was more his humbling was no one was treating him like the gods that like his middle school was, his elementary school was. Like he wasn't being treated like hot shit anymore. And this is and people were actually liking Deku and like appreciating Deku for who he is, not the fact that he has a quirk and everything. Like they just like Deku for Deku.
I can't wait to continue to rewatch because it's been a while. Like once season 6 came out, I watched it, and for me, I need to watch something a couple times to really remember what's going on. I don't remember if Bakugo starts really coming around at all.
This is where it starts because because here Bakugo really he's like, why am I the reason? Like I'm the reason All Might is no longer All Might because I let myself get kidnapped. And now to top it all off, you who was a nobody is now ahead of me.
Oh my god, this fight was
beautiful. This is also where Bakugo pieces it together.
Oh, I think Bakugo is known for significantly a long period of time.
No, Bakugo puts it together here. Because what he did was he shrugged it off because he says it here. You said that there, and I thought you were full of shit. And this is why I didn't speak about it before. Bakugo was specifically looking at Deku when All Might did the point to the screen and go, "You're next." Next, where everyone else was cheering, Deku was crying.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Bakugo figured it out. That's when Bakugo figured out what he was saying wasn't nonsense. He was like, "Wait, why are you acting like that?" And Bakugo pieces it together. And then Deku tells him the full truth here. And then they fight. And it was a good fight. Deku was holding his own like practically the whole time and everything like that. But Deku ends up losing. But this is finally where Deku finally goes, bro, I've looked up to you this whole time. You were my goal to achieve this whole time. To be as strong as you. How you just faced everything head on, fearless and everything. Like, you were what I wanted to be. It was the reason why I kept following you around, even with how awful you treated me. And you'll see, this
it
is
flashes back to all the times that Bakugo was a dick to Deku.
Yeah. And this is where we start seeing Bakugo kind of come around. He's still acting the same and stuff like that, but like you'll really see here that he's in on, like, from here when Deku and All Might have their meetings, Deku will be Bakugo will be there. Bakugo knows the whole situation now. Bakugo's there, so like helping, supporting him, but not at the same time.
What's weird is Eraserhead doesn't even know. The principal?
No. Nezu knows. The only people
the
in that
principal
school
knows.
who know,
Recovery Girl.
That's it.
Now Bakugo.
Bakugo, yep. The only teachers, no, all the teachers knew about All Might's like form thing. They knew about his weakened state. I think most of the teachers. I think Eraserhead knew. I think all the faculty knew about his weakened state because of his injury. I think they all know about that. But only Nezu and Recovery Girl actually know about One for All and how it works.
I mean, I'm very, very shocked that Eraserhead doesn't.
They wanted the least people knowing as possible.
Well, no, I understand why. I'm just because he's the teacher of that class. But
yeah, no, they wouldn't even tell Eraser. Eraser didn't find out until season 6.
But I think that's basically it for the season.
Yeah, there's like the final episode shows off like the UA Big 3, but they don't really play more of a part until season 4, so I'm kind of wanting to touch more on them when we do season 4 in 2 weeks. But we'll just say like the last episode is basically the class meeting the 3 strongest people in UA. They're seniors. They're already doing hero intern, because basically here's where they're trying to introduce before the new season the internships, where they're actually going to be working with a hero, like doing hero work with their licenses.
Yep.
They're basically going to be sidekicks. Is basically what is here. Is basically they're going to be able to act as sidekicks.
Yeah, so I'm excited to do season 4 in 2 weeks. Gives me a little time to watch it. Are we watching a movie with this season?
Yes, because at the end of season 4, technically to Heroes Rising is where Heroes Rising lands in the timeline.
That's the one where they're on the island, right?
Yep, that's the one where they're on the island.
Do you watch that first before the season?
No, you watch it at the end.
Okay. Because
it's basically, so like, the first arc in season 4 is the internships.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's what is the second part of season 4? What's the second part of season 4? What's the second half of season 4?
I was hoping you would.
Oh, the cultural festival.
Okay. I mean, I'm excited. I think this anime stuff that we're doing, I like we're putting out more content, number 1. Number 2, I'm really having fun going back and watching this again.
And like talking about it. Like these moments were like season 3 was like where the first half of the season was pure like accelerated heat, and the second half was like a slower pace. Like as much as a bunch of stuff was happening, it like went at a slower pace where where basically the camp and thing, there was like only like 2 or 3 episodes to the summer camp where like nothing was really going on and we were actually seeing the training and stuff, and then it went full blown heat.
I mean, there was a good 2 or 3 episodes when we were just looking at the dorm rooms.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, that was 1 episode.
And then I thought it was funny. Can't think of his name. The balls on the top of his head.
Mineta.
Mineta is like, come look at my room. Come on.
No. So before we
know.
wrap this up, favorite part of the season, go.
James,
Wait,
go
hold
first.
up. What the fuck? Okay. It has to be the Deku Bakugo fight. My jaw
AJ?
was on.
Oh wait, you're still going. Sorry, James.
Sorry.
You had that long pause, so I thought you were done.
It's just, I don't know what it is. The animation was amazing. My jaw was on the floor. I kind of really wish Deku would breakdance fight more because that shit was clean as fuck. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, his freaking like twisty tornado like kick thing.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Because I remember going, oh shit.
All right, AJ.
Probably the training camp at the beginning and him fighting Muscular.
Mm.
Because it doesn't just show Deku off, it shows how much and how prepared he is to whatever it has to take to protect somebody. Kota.
I like it. Mine is the establishment of shoot style. I like shoot style. What can you say? There's only one other like thing that happened like that's I get more hype about than the reveal of shoot style.
I mean, I do love Mammalian. I love him so much.
Lemillion is and this is why I don't want to talk about the big 3 until season 4 where they play more of a part, because just off of the 1 episode they were in and we see Lemillion, we see Mirio. That's like a guy crush right there. I love that man. I love him so much.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for being here. We got our wrestling show coming out Monday when we're talking about. Shoot, I think it's WrestleMania 39 from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun, and then that'll lead us right into this year's WrestleMania, which, yeah, boy, will be.
Hooray!
But guys, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe, go check out all our merch on the Streamlabs merch page. But yeah, season 4, 2 weeks. Be there, be square. Deuces.
Ciao.